Hey, how are you doing today, everybody? We're here today doing a pretty special video, in my opinion. This video is about Lincoln Colburn's little cabinet fantasy. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we're going to debunk that. We're debunking it big. Okay, so stick around, check it out. I went and I got a cabinet that is approximately like the cabinet that was in Stephen Avery's bedroom. Obviously it wasn't exactly like it. It had some doors on it. It had some wheels on it. I removed the doors and removed the wheels, but it's essentially the same shape. It's got a high cross shelf like Stephen's cabinet does. And it has a back that can peel off. You can peel it back. You can peel the back of it away, just like Stephen's cabinet. So, so what I did was I went ahead and got it all ready to go, peeled the cabinet away, very much like the one is peeled away in the pictures of Stephen's cabinet, the way the back is peeling away in those pictures. I recreated that. I got a key, very similar to Teresa's RAV4 key, with a piece of blue lanyard that is attached to the key. And what you're going to see is that there is really no way that this key could have hidden where they say it hid. And I'm going to show you. You're going to see. It's plainly obvious. This key could not hide where they say it hid. Cleverly or not. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to show you. You guys will see. But we're going to go through a few things here. First, I'm going to show you where Sergeant Colburn, in an email to the assistant district attorney for Manitowoc, after MAM came out, because he felt like he needed to kind of explain some of the things in it to the district attorney, or to the assistant district attorney. So he felt he needed to explain a little bit. Well, that's when he said that they did not find the key on the floor. It wasn't, they didn't find the key on the floor like that underneath some slippers. He said that it was cleverly hidden behind the cabinet. Cleverly hidden? What, behind the cabinet? That doesn't even make sense. The back of the cabinet is nothing but flat. Now, the only thing I can assume that he means by that, the only thing it could possibly mean, is that he's suggesting that the key was wedged in where the back of the cabinet was peeling away, that it was wedged into that and held in place there. But even then, his story still doesn't work, and you guys are going to see why. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the document right here where he claims that the key was not found on the floor, that the key was cleverly hidden in the cabinet. And then from there, I'm going to come back and talk to you a bit, and we're going to show you that this cabinet had everything removed out of it so that it could be looked into at least twice. At least. And I'm sure there's more, but at least twice. So we're going to move into the first document here so you can see what Colburn said, and then we'll be back. So here we have Andrew Colburn saying that no evidence was planted at any time by any law enforcement officer during the course of the investigation. The key to Teresa's vehicle was not discovered laying next to a pair of shoes in the open, but instead it was cleverly hidden behind the bookcase in Stephen Avery's bedroom. Cleverly hidden how? I don't know. Okay, so there you saw Colburn claiming that the key was not found on the floor, under the slippers or whatever, that it was cleverly hidden behind the cabinet. Not in the back of the cabinet, but behind the cabinet. Strange. I don't understand what the hell he's talking about either. But the only thing I can think he means is that it was wedged in where the back was separating from like the sidewall, or possibly wedged in between the back piece and the cross shelf that's along the top, which you'll see here in a second. I'll show you some pictures of it, because I'm going to show you the pictures right now so that you can see. There's going to be, the first picture is going to be the way the cabinet pretty much was when they entered Stephen Avery's bedroom, basically the way it lie. Then the second picture shows that everything has been moved around in it and is in a different configuration. And then there's a third one. The third one after Colburn had emptied it out completely and looked around inside of it and then put everything back, and then that's when he supposedly shook it, started shaking it, you know, whatever, and the key pops out. And you're going to see here how ridiculous that is. I'm going to show you. You're going to see how hard I have to work to get that key to pop out in any way, shape, or form. So you'll see here in a second. But I want to show you these pictures of the cabinet so that it verified for anybody watching this video. You can't deny that this cabinet was emptied out and searched at least twice. So here we go. I'll show you this right now. All right, so here we have the first picture of the cabinet. You can see there's keys there on the top shelf thing, and this is the way basically it was when they walked in or within the first couple days. These pictures are all, by the way, of the cabinets. These, all of them, every one of them are courtesy of Carrie Meandle. She is a outstanding supporter of Stephen and Brendan. But here we see that there's, you know, now a different configuration of everything in the shelving. And then it goes over to this time where we know, because Colburn told us that he pulled all this stuff out and put it back, and then that's when he tried shaking it. So we know all that stuff's been rearranged. So we know it was gone through at least twice, and that nobody seemed to see anything in there cleverly hidden. I don't know. But anyways, here's just wanting to show you guys how the back of the cabinet was splitting away from the side walls there. It's important. I recreate this condition with the cabinet I bought. I actually do peel the back away and make it just like this. So we'll be seeing that in a minute. But yeah, this is the type. This is the way the cabinet was, and this. Okay, so there you see quite clearly that the things inside of that cabinet were rearranged at least twice. At least. I'm sure it was more. I'm sure more people looked through it. But twice, that thing was completely emptied out and everything was rearranged, put back in it, and nobody saw it. And the reason why that's important is because I'm about to show you some clips right now. The clips of the cabinet that I bought and did my own little testing here, and you guys are going to see the way that the key falls, the way the key acts, the way that the key in the lanyard, you know, the way that they react when I do this testing. There's no way that Colburn could have just walked up and just shook it a little. You'll see when you see what I have to do just to make the key come out. It's ridiculous, but I tried my damnedest, and I made sure I put whatever force and however I could to help it to get that key to come out. And you'll see I had to do quite a bit. So you'll see right now we're going to show you those clips, keeping in mind that there's no way that this key could have hidden the way they said. I'm going to show you. I'm going to wedge it into a couple different places. You'll see it wedged into a couple different places, and no matter where it's wedged, you can always see part of it. And not just a tiny little bit of it. You can see enough of it that it would catch your eye and make you go, what's that? Or, you know, what's going on there? It's not like barely visible. So I'll show you guys that right now. You'll see the clips, and we'll come on back one more time. All right, so first we're going to start with the only two places where this key could have been moderately hidden. And that's basically here on the side wall. And you just saw the picture from the outside where it would have been clearly visible. And if they were emptying out the inside, you would clearly see this piece on the inside, as you can see. So cleverly or not, this key should have been visible. So I don't know what Colburn's getting at with that. But now we're going to move on to, now the key is wedged in the cross shelf, behind the cross shelf in the back panel. And like I said, you still see something there. You see something that catches your eye and makes you go, what is that? Or just, it's going to make you inspect a little bit further. No matter if you look from top or bottom, it doesn't matter. You still see hints of it. So how they could have searched this thing twice and missed this, either if it was in either spot, how? It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So this is me getting the cabinet ready here. As you can see, I have the back paneling pulled away a bit there so that it's just like the one in the pictures in Stephen's bedroom. And, that's creating the gap for these keys to be able to slide out or to be wedged in behind the shelving and stuff like that. So here I am getting ready to start the first experiment. I got it on the center shelf, the cross shelf. I'm wiggling the thing around. Oh, it drops. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm wedging a little screw in there to keep the opening open a little further, so that there's a bit more of an opening for the key to slide out through, because I'm trying to give it every chance, every opportunity to be able to slide out of there and kind of do like what Colburn said it did. So here I am going multiple tries, and oh, there we go. Like the third try, it comes out, but look where it's at. It's stuck to the baseboard. So here we go with another attempt. Okay, heave, you know. So here we go again. Got nothing coming out there. And like I say, you can kind of see how big that gap is. There's a gap there for something to be able to slip out. Here we go again. And there it goes. And look at where the key is. It's pretty much stuck to the baseboard. So, you know, that's 2 times it came out stuck to the baseboard. But here we go again for a third try. Like I said, notice that gap is there. The gap is open. There's room for that key to slip out. But sorry, got a little tired there. Been throwing this cabin around for a while. But anyways, there we go. We're doing it again and again. And this time, all we got was basically the lanyard hanging out. So I'm going to zoom in on it here for you, so you can kind of see that the lanyard's just hanging out of the bottom of it there. And the key's still inside. So now we move on to the key is wedged in the sidewall, and it falls out. And it falls, in that case, on top of the baseboard. In this case, it falls inside of the cabinet. And then again we go, and this time the key falls again inside of the cabinet. So then we move on to the next one, and this time the key does actually fall outside of the cabinet. But the problem is that, like I said, if the key was there in that sidewall, it would have been highly visible from the outside and from the inside. All right. So there you have it. You see clearly that key does not want to come out of that cabinet easily. In fact, you see that when the key was stuck in the cross shelf, the upper shelf, the cross piece that goes, across this way, when it was stuck there, I had to try very hard to, first of all, just to get it to drop down to the bottom of the cabinet. That was very difficult. It took 3 or 4 tries of me almost slamming the cabinet on the ground. Almost pretty much slamming it on the ground. I mean, I was, I had to lift it up and kind of let it down a couple different times before that key finally dropped out of there. And then it hit the bottom of the cabinet. So that means it's far more difficult if it's hidden that way. If that's the clever way that Stephen hid it, according to Colburn, then it's very difficult for him to get it out of the cabinet the way he suggests. It hits, because it took me 3 or 4 tries to get the thing to drop. And then it took me 3 or 4 tries of literally lifting the cabinet up, swinging the key all the way to one side, swinging it back the other way so that the key slides across and hits that opening that I created and goes out through that opening. And you see that I tried it a few different times, probably 3 or 4 different times. And it took 3 or 4 tries on each attempt to get that key to come out, or for just part of the key to pop out. Because there was one time where I think only the lanyard fell out and the key stayed in. So, and that's with me. That's with me. I had a piece of screw wedged in there, wedging that opening open more than it should have been. So I was helping this along in every way I could, and even still, it was damn near impossible. So I mean, that's just the way it is with me trying to help this thing along and trying to make what supposedly Colburn says happened, and it's still extremely difficult, even with me helping it along. Because like I said, I wedged that opening open a little bit more than it would have naturally been. So the fact that it took 3 or 4 tries with all my strength, lifting the cabinet up completely off the floor and really getting some momentum on that key. And still, it took 3 or 4 tries. And even when it popped out up against the wall. It pops out, literally falls against the baseboard and sticks to the baseboard. So I think I can pretty much rule out that. I can rule out that key was hidden behind the cross shelf the way you saw it. Now, moving on to the way it was wedged into the sidewall there, in the backing in the sidewall. That one, it does fall, and it actually kind of almost falls the way that we see the key lie in the pictures in the Avery case. You know, when they show the key on the ground there. So we see it almost, but not quite, because like in that Avery picture, and it's a problem I've had with it a long time, the key and the lanyard are both facing away from the cabinet in that picture. Well, you saw the way my key fell. One thing, the key landed away from the cabinet, but the lanyard was pointing directly at the cabinet. It would be very difficult, in my opinion, to get both of those things facing away from the cabinet, because, like I said, it was very difficult. It took me 4 tries on the sidewall. The first 3 times it fell into the cabinet. It fell to the inside of the cabinet. 3 out of 4 tries fell inside the cabinet. I think that's important. And then on the 4th try, finally, I got it to fall outside of the cabinet. But when it falls outside of the cabinet, it doesn't fall like that one in the picture. The key falls where it's pointing away, but the lanyard is not pointing away. You don't get both of them pointing away like you see in that picture, which is odd. And even still, the way mine fell, I still don't think it's as far away from the wall as the keys are in that picture in the Stephen Avery, files of the key sitting there on the ground. So I still don't think the key fell. It doesn't line up. It doesn't work out. This story that he's telling is just ridiculous, because you guys saw me. You saw how hard I had to work just to get like minimal results that Colburn's saying that he got when he shook the cabinet, and you see me manhandling the cabinet. So, I doubt that Colburn was getting in there and manhandling the cabinet the way I was. I mean, trust me, I was breaking a sweat working on that cabinet and doing all those shots for this video. So, anyways, so yeah, I don't believe Colburn was working anywhere near as hard at it as I was. So, yeah. I think that this is thoroughly debunked. This key was not hiding in that cabinet. Was not hiding in that cabinet. I can't say it enough. It's a complete lie. It's a complete fantasy. And, hey, fantasies are dime a dozen with this Avery case. You got Kratz with his little rape and killing fantasy that he, shared in his press conference. You got Link and Colburn with this little cabinet fantasy. The fantasy that Colburn thinks that he got the information about Teresa's RAV4 and the license plate number. He thinks that he got that from Mark Wiegert, who on the stand said, no, I don't recall ever giving that information to him. So where'd you get it? Where'd you get it, Andrew? Yeah. You got it because you were looking at it. That's how you had it. So, but anyways. So I think everybody sees what I'm talking about here. This cabinet and key fantasy is ridiculous. Get out there, tell people about it. Show them this video. Show them how very difficult it is to get the key to do what Colburn says that it did. Because, hey, it's ridiculous. It's debunked. Obviously, share this video, show other people how difficult it was, So, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe. I don't know if you know, but that's always one thing you can do for a YouTuber that helps them out. That doesn't cost you anything, so it's always, nice. So anyways, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and look forward to more videos from me in the future. Because I'm going to keep making these videos, because there's so much stuff that you can find that you can look at and go, yeah, this ain't right. Anyway, we'll see you guys all later, and you guys all have a good one.